Oh, oh, oh. Hariom, and greetings from Kawartha Lakes, where I am, why I'm here, who knows? But I'm here. Yesterday, I was in Kathmandu, Nepal. Now I'm in northern Ontario. While in Nepal, the reason I was there was for the Kailasha Manasa Yatra. And right now I was showing Sheila's parents and her family photographs from our yatra. And I was specifically showing them photographs from day 2. Day 2 is where one goes from the guest house and hikes 6 kilometers to Mount Kailasha, and it's called the Charana Sharana. It's where you go and touch, physically touch Mount Kailasha, and then you come back 6 kilometers. After I had done this, and I was hiking back, and it was the most grinding out of all of the days on this yatra, I was speaking to one of our Nepali tour guides, and he hadn't been there for 10 years. And he was sharing with me in broken Nepali, broken English, that when he had come 10 years ago, there was a lake in front of this mountain. And so you had to hike around the lake to then touch this mountain, as compared to right now, where there was no lake. You just directly went and touched this mountain. And the way he was presenting this was, it's so much shorter now, but the way that I was interpreting this is how in 10 years, in this most remote area of Tibet, climate change has taken away this lake. Reflecting on this more. This morning, we had our first satsanga on efforts for safety. And what I had shared with all of the seekers in our satsang was, whenever we think and speak and act in the short term, it really is based from fear then. Fear makes us think and speak and act in the short term. And so in a very rigorous way or a high standard, it means we're deciding in a wrong way then. Whenever you make decisions from a place of fear, it is going to be wrong then. How many of you agree with this observation? You've seen it in your life, you've seen it in society. And I bring all of this up because our Loving Earth Sangha. Sangha means those who are coming to unity. The unity here is towards loving our earth. We are engaged in tapa. Tapa means burning our comfort zones, that we will not decide out of fear. We will not think and speak and act in the short term. I'm confident that everyone who's joining us has become more sensitive in their purchasing habits, in their disposal habits, in how they use resources. This Sangha is engaged in tapa, burning our comfort zone. And you may not know this, but this workshop in July of 2024 is now our 30th consecutive workshop, as in we've completed 30 workshops, which is so awesome in the sense that steadiness is rare, but we are engaging in this steadiness. For 30 workshops, for 30 months, we have inspired each other to give our effort, our time, our resources. So much of this is immeasurable. We just know how good we feel. A lot of this is measurable, and we've shared that in terms of collecting trash or planting trees or raising funds for environmental charities. Summarizing all that I've shared before, Rani Parimari starts, and I think so many of you are Rani Parimari this evening. It's like she's a shapeshifter of some sort. I was kind of scared, like, am I in the wrong Zoom meeting right now? What's happening? I feel great relief seeing all of you, being with all of you. I don't know how else to describe this, but great relief when there's so much pessimism about the environment that we are trying our best to work hard and smart towards the environment. It makes me feel relieved. It makes me feel proud of all of you. So my appreciation to our entire Loving Earth Sangha. Team, please continue.
Hari Om Vivekji. Happy you're with us today. Really glad you're here and back from the Yatra, and looking forward to hearing more of Vivekji's reflections. But Hari Om to everyone else, and grateful we're all able to gather this evening, and also welcoming several new seekers to the Loving Earth workshops. As Vivekji shared, to date, we've completed 2.5 years of workshops, as well as efforts toward taking better care of our Mother Earth. And over this time, we've learned and been inspired by seekers in our community who all strive personally toward these efforts, and then also several who work professionally in sustainability. And what stands out in these workshops and conversations, and really what drives this community, is the underlying feeling of gratitude and responsibility toward loving back Earth in the way that she loves us unconditionally. And today's workshop on growing clean food will certainly be no different. Rani Barimi is a seeker from Connecticut who has been part of the Chinmay Mission community for many years. And over the past 5 years, she has spent a great deal of time learning about growing and caring for an organic vegetable garden. Over our conversations these past few weeks, her passion for gardening really shines through, as well as her desire to share that with others. It reminds me of what Vivekji teaches us, that you really can't help giving when you feel full of gratitude and recognize your responsibility. Vandana Shiva, a well known ecologist, shares that growing and giving of good food is the highest gift and most revolutionary act. I'd like to welcome Rani. Hari Om, and thank you for being with us today.
Yom all. First of all, thank you so much, Vivekji and Ritaji, for a nice introduction and for giving this opportunity. And of course, Chinmay Mission. We are all connected through the Chinmay Mission. Give me a second to share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Thank you. Okay. My name is Rani Paribi. Today, I'm going to share my experience with growing clean food in backyard. I started in 2019. I got seedlings from local nursery like tomatoes, peppers, and also got some seeds from my friend Karela Seeds and started small scale. but that year I didn't get much produce. But I felt that my soil doesn't have much nutrients, and also I started so late. So during that winter, I was exploring internet and watching videos, reading articles, understanding the nature and climatic zones. I am from agriculture family, but I have little idea. But comparing Indian climatic zones and here, and making notes, and made a plan for following year. So I was doing for last 4 years. With that experience, I'm going to explain. If you see the title, Seed to Seed, uh, I'm going to explain about seed, where and when to get the seeds, and how to prepare seedlings indoors, and also preparing your garden bed, and making trellis for your vines, and arranging drip system, and fertilizers what I use, like, and pesticide, harvesting, it's a fun part, and collecting seeds for next year. These are all steps I'm going to explain now. First, how to turn your lawn into a garden. First, select an area where you can get 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight. So if you see in the picture, this is my lawn. So I covered the area with cardboards, which you can get from any grocery store like BJ's or Trader Joe's, which are free. So just remove the plastic tapes or anything is there, just cover the lawn with. And then for growing Indian vegetables, we need to create strong base with nutrients. So I recommend using 50% organic soil and 50% organic compost. Cow compost or horse compost you can get from nearby farm. If you look at the pictures, I made a rows with this mix, like 3 feet wide and 1 feet height. Length it depends on your place. So, and also you can see this 3 feet. So I made it 2 rows of the seedlings. And suppose you all are making gardening already, suppose if you have garden bed, then just add compost to it every year. So if you see earthworms in the soil, that means the soil is so healthy, which will result in good produce. Half of the gardening is done actually. It's easy. If your soil is healthy, it's really good for your vegetables and gardening. And then preparing seedlings at home. Obtaining seeds. Seeds can order online, preferably in February, at Seeds of India or Attula Farms or on Facebook Market, or you can get from your friends too. So when to sow, based on where you live in the country, you will fall under a specific hardiness zone. For more details, check out the chart. If you click on that link and enter the zip code, you will know your area, your zone. So for example, Connecticut comes under the zone 6. So chilies and tomatoes and eggplant seeds takes time to grow. So we start 8 weeks before Mother's Day, which is mid of the March. So all other vegetables, especially vine vegetables, so 6 weeks before Mother's Day. Suppose if your zone is zone 8 or 9, you can just follow the calendar. Tomatoes, eggplant, same thing. But vine vegetables, you can just follow squash calendar. So according to that, you can sow. Sowing process, make holes under a cup for drainage, add seeds starting mix to it, then sow the seeds. Soil should be moist till you get the sprouts. This is basic method. So you can also use pig pellets to sow the seeds. I use this method for fast germination, like soak seeds at least for 12 hours. Keep on a damp paper towel and wrap the paper towel and slide into the Ziploc. Suppose if you don't like plastic, you can put it in the glass bowl, but don't seal fully. Keep it in a warm spot or on a heating mat. So what I do, I keep my all Ziplocs in the oven. I don't turn on the heat, but I'll switch on the light, like during winter how you make curd, same thing. You can just put it on the Ziplocs and switch on the light for 12 hours during daytime. Same thing, I'm creating nature inside. So depends on the seed size, it will start sprouting. Suppose if seed size is small, it starts early, and then suppose Karela and snake guard, that seeds are very big, so it takes time, 1 week at least, to sprout. So after sprouting, you can transfer the seeds into a cup. I know it's a really kind of little lengthy process. For beginners, you can start with leafy vegetables like amaranth, gongora, spinach, methi, directly into the garden bed in the mid of the May, like after Mother's Day. And also you can get seedlings from local nursery. You can start directly into the garden bed. But in our area, I won't get any Indian seedlings, so I am making my own seedlings indoors. It's very important to maintain the temperature. Your thermostat should be at 70 during daytime, because we are doing in the mid of the March. It's so cold in our area. So place the cups in an area where you will get lot of sunlight, like windows or sliding door, and also use plant grow lights. If you see in the pictures, I'm using this grow light bulb, and also you will get lot of options in the online. If you Google it, plant grow lights, you can buy and arrange those. Cups can be placed in a tray, so it's easy to water from the bottom. And also I use mild fertilizers like banana peel water and onion peel water. And also I use Alaska fish fertilizer, but it's kind of little smelly, it's optional. This is like banana peel water. Just banana peels you can soak in water for 24 to 48 hours, and then dilute with little water and then put it in the trays. Same thing, onion peel water. So banana peel water has a lot of potassium, onion peel water has a lot of phosphorus, so it will help to grow plants and become strong roots. So this seedlings takes time to grow. So in between, we'll make trellis for the vines in your garden. We have 3 options. First, I tried with wood trellis. You can check the chart for the video. These are very inexpensive and also easy to make, but it will only last for a couple of years. So after 2 years, I tried T-post trellis. So you can use 7 feet to posts. If you see in the picture, I bought 4 7 feet T-posts and also 4 feet height fence wire. You can get in 50 feet roll or 100 feet roll. You can cut that one 16 feet length and put it on top of the 4 T-posts. So these are not sturdy as cattle panel trellis, but they are good for our Indian vines and easy to install. Cattle panel, you can make with a cattle panel which is sturdy and strong, but you will need help with delivery and installation. Next, drip irrigation. Water you can do with your hose, but it will spill all over your gardens. So drip irrigation has a lot of benefits. You can check more details for chart. In the chart, we posted the link and watch that videos. You will get a lot of idea. Suppose if you don't have drip system or if you have only hose, you can connect that drip pipe to that hose and add filter and timer for that. So watch the videos, you will get more information. So I highly recommend this drip irrigation because water goes directly into the roots, prevents diseases, because it's not that water is not touching the leaves or stems or anything, so you won't get much diseases. And also if you see in the pictures, there are tube, so you won't see much weed also, because it's water is not spreading all over, so you won't get much weed. So, and also saves time, money and water. So it's really good actually, if you can use it. And please water every day, preferably in the morning. Why I'm saying, because if you do in the morning, suppose if leaves get wet or anything, it will get dry up, so you won't get much disease. Suppose if you miss in the morning, you must water in the morning, evening. Now your garden bed is ready, and you may prepare trellis and drip system. So the seedlings also grown up a little bit. If you see in the picture, these are seedlings, but these grown in inside with temperature, small light temperature, and without direct sunlight, without wind. So we have to expose these seedlings to the outside weather. So this process called hardening the seedlings. First, we have to check the temp. In the first week of the May, we start this process. Check the temperature, like during afternoon time, like at least 70 degrees. So that if you see that temperature, so you can keep your seedling outside in partial sun for 2-3 hours. If you put direct sun, seedlings are very delicate, like babies, they will get sunburn. So keep it in the partial sun or shady area. Do it for 1-2 days, and day 3 you can just little bit expose to full sun and more time, and day 4 same little bit more time, and increase gradually time. And after 1 week, 5-6 days, then you can keep it outside, but check the temperature again. Nighttime temperature should be 50. This is must for Indian vegetables. So suppose if it's not 50, you can keep it inside and then wait for till you get 50 at night temperature. So now your seedlings also ready. So transplanting seedlings in the garden. So after Mother's Day, yeah, check the temperature again. Why I'm mentioning this is very important for the Indian vegetables to grow. So you can transplant seedlings in the garden, like make a hole the size of your cup and put the bone meal fertilizer. I'll explain more details fertilizers in the next slide. And also sustain fertilizer, and transfer this seedling to the hole and cover with mud and foam gently, add water. So, and also when you are transplanting provides space in between seedlings, at least 1 feet to 1.5 feet. When it grows, it will take a lot of space in the ground to grow roots and grow plants, so you need space. Okra, gongora, all leafy vegetables you can do directly into the garden now. And also okra especially has a transplant shock, so better to do directly into the garden. So you can use fast germination process. Suppose if anyone remember, you can post in the chat. Fast germination process. After transplanting is done, allow 1 week or for the seedlings to adjust to the weather conditions. Just water it every day and leave it like that for 1 week. And then marigold seedlings. Use marigold seedlings to attract the bees. So this will help for pollination. So for vine plants like bottle gourd, ridge gourd, snake gourd, we need to do 2Z and 3Z cutting to get more produce. Like let it grow for at least 1 feet, and then cut 1 inch from the top, cut it out. So this will become 2 branches. So that is called 2Z cutting. And again let it grow for 1 more feet, and then cut 1 inch from the top. So it will become more branches. That is called 3Z cutting. So this will help. This process will help. You will get a lot of male flowers and female flowers, and you will get a lot of produce. Next, fertilizers. So I use only organic and natural fertilizers. This sustain, it helps me a lot to get the more abundant vegetables. If you see 464 NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So when I'm transplanting, I use this fertilizer. And Alaska fish fertilizer. This is mostly nitrogen based fertilizer. It's a liquid fertilizer. You can use when plants are growing, when they are small. So after once growing, you can use this sustained 464 once in 2 weeks. So if you add, because our Indian vegetables need a lot of feeding and a lot of water. So we have to add according to package, you can add it. And organic bone meal, I just used only once when I'm transplanting the seedlings. Homemade fertilizers. So suppose if you have expired milk in your fridge, you can dilute it with water and then use it for plants. And also you can use banana peel water, onion peel water, buttermilk. This is really helpful for it works as a fertilizer and pesticide. Ferment buttermilk for 3 days and dilute with water 1:10. Add to the plants as fertilizer, or you can filter it first and then spray it on the plants. Particularly eggplant, like this will get powdery mildew disease. So this buttermilk fertilizer helps a lot actually. So add little hing powder to this diluted buttermilk for your curry leaf plants. So this you can see the difference of the growing. Pesticide. This is also natural one. So this is I ordered this neem oil, cold pressed neem oil, and also peppermint soap. This peppermint smell, because of the smell, bugs will attract, and soap works as a stick to the bugs. So you can use dish soap also, but the recipe: 1 gallon water and 1 teaspoon cold pressed neem oil, 1 teaspoon peppermint or dish soap. Mix all together and spray it on the plants. You have to spray it on the top of the leaves and bottom of the leaves, because under the leaves only you can see a lot of bugs, and also it has to cover the entire stem. So it spray once in a week in the morning. Why I'm saying in the morning? You can see a lot of bugs are in the morning. So if you spray before 7 a.m., your garden is, if you do once in a week, your garden is pest free mostly. If you see any pests, use this spray 2 to 3 days continuously. When you are spraying, remove 30 to 50% leaves, because plant doesn't need a lot of leaves to grow to make the food. So if you remove 30 to 50% leaves, plant is kind of airy and then get a lot of sunlight. So this will help the plant to grow and give more produce, and also you don't need to do too much neem spray. So yeah, next fun part. This is really fun, harvesting. After 2 to 3 months of spending time and taking care of plants like babies, now it's time to enjoy picking your own organic vegetables. If you see in the picture, these are all Indian vegetables. These are all my last year pictures. The tomatoes, these are green chilies. And also I made some red chilies. Look at this bongura, sorrel leaves. You don't see any hole or on the leaves. It looks so healthy because I'm using that neem spray. And also bottle gourd. This is Karela, this is rich gourd. And now this video is my present garden. Enjoy this one. Okay. Here you can identify vegetables maybe. This is like what? White pumpkin, Indian pumpkin. This is rich gourd. This is Karela. It's all fruiting and flowering stage. This is bottle gourd. You can see small bottle gourds. Lot of flowers, and also we need to do pollination for this. And pollination. And then this is also bottle gourd. Look at this bottle gourd. And this is my jasmine plant. These are my Indian tomatoes. These are small but yummy. This snake gourd, Karela, and zucchini. You can see this banana plant. And these are vine tomatoes, beans, amaranth. This is papdi, Indian beans. You can see this, and then here is rich gourd again. You can see coriander I did under the trellis, so this needs little shady, so I did under spectralis. This is okra. This is like fennel seeds. It's the first time I'm trying. Let's see how it will become. This is like Indian cucumber, rosa type, pakora, and this sorrel leaves, gongura, and this is okra again. I did a lot of okra because we love okra. And this is eggplant. And then this is all kinds of peppers, red peppers, green peppers, and also I planted marigold flowers. You can see this is helps a lot for pollination. This is like Indian chilies. This is very spicy. Curry leaf plants. This is big one. These are all tomatoes and tulsi. This is all my whole garden. Next, seed collecting. For next year, so we have to collect seeds. So when you are harvesting vegetables, leave one or two vegetables depending on the size. Suppose if it's ridge gourd, just leave the one vegetables. Suppose if it's okra or chilies, leave 2-3 more. So for example, ridge gourd and okra, peppers, beans, just leave it on the vine and it will turn into the brown in by September, end of the September. You can pick it up and save it for next year. If you see in the pictures, this is okra and this is red chili. And some vegetables like karela will ripe on the vine. Just collect seeds and keep in shady area to dry. Leafy vegetables, this is amaranth. Leafy bolt into the flowers. All of these flowers turn into stalks of seeds. Let it dry on the plant and then collect seeds. Because of short summer season, it's hard to make some seeds like red sorrel leaves. Because I don't even get to see flower also, so I didn't get any seeds. So these I don't get, but most of the seeds I'll make and save for next year. Now we have seeds for next year. For me, gardening is like spiritual process, a way of connecting with nature, touching soil, observing how small seed become big plant and getting abundant vegetables. It's a joy. So picking your own fresh organic vegetables, particularly Indian vegetables, which we don't get it here. In the morning and evening, listening bees buzzing sound, birds chirping, watching rabbits eating my leafy vegetables. It was really fun. And getting scared of garden snakes sometimes. And in the night, fireflies, that light, it's really nice. And lot of earthworms in the soil. And not only enjoying myself and also helping the nature. So soil is become so healthy. So it keeps me very busy during summer and act physically and mentally. So it's really fun. I hope all of you can start gardening and experience joy. Thank you. Hari Om. Now Rita ji going to ask some questions based on our presentation. How much you remembered?
Thank you, Rani. Could I ask you to unshare your screen?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. All right. So we have a pop quiz, everyone. So hopefully everyone was paying attention, and Ronnie's going to let us know if we're getting our answers right. So our first, and these are questions from Ronnie. I didn't make these up. So how does one create a strong base with nutrients? And you can share in the chat. We'll just do it that way, and then we'll open it up for others to share as we get our answers right. Yeah, then can I ask you to share the spotlight with Ronnie so she can, yeah. So how are we doing, Ronnie? Are these answers right?
Yeah. 50%
Yeah.
organic garden soil. Yeah, 50. Yes,
Awesome.
that's good. Very good. Excellent.
All right. So what is NPK? Okay.
NP. Yes, that's correct.
Nitrogen, phosphorus.
But,
So, Ronnie, I think you had mentioned before what is each component good for?
nitrogen is good for to grow plant, and phosphorus and potassium uh, that will help to give more flowers and fruits.
Okay.
So overall, we need that combination.
Right. Next is what kind of spray was used for pesticide, and what were the ingredients?
Yeah, that's correct. Neem spray.
So, are they passing so far?
Then neem oil and one more
One more ingredient. Yeah. What was the other ingredient?
soap. Yeah, dish
So,
soap.
yeah, or peppermint. Great. So we're passing so far, right, honey?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Okay. So when you're ready to transplant seedlings into the garden, or how do we know we're ready to transplant the seedlings? And I'm actually slightly changing the question to make it harder.
When to transplant, like temperatures. Like,
Yeah,
that's
she
my.
just made it easy.
Mhm.
So at what temperature? Yep. When the temperature is over 50.
Mm, that's correct.
Oh, we have another answer here.
Yeah,
Right.
70 during daytime and 50 at the night time, above 50.
Okay. Above
After Mother's
50.
Day.
Okay.
Wow, they have a lot of information. That's nice.
Yeah. um, all right. Can anyone explain what 2G and 3G cutting is? That may take some time to type, I think.
Oh, yeah.
When the plant grows to a foot, cut 1 inch.
Yeah, from the top.
That's the 2G.
Yes.
And it helps in branching out. Okay. Ronnie, is that so? The
Yeah,
3G is one.
let it grow one more feet. That's it. Yeah. Cut from the
Okay.
1 inch
Okay.
from the top. And
Um,
then, yeah.
so I am adding one more question, and then we'll open it up. So what is the frequency of watering the seedlings? Does anyone remember that? Every morning. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. And then what was the frequency of the fertilizer?
Yeah. Wow.
So every morning,
Once in 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, that's
so
correct.
the fertilizer was once in 2 weeks. That was the
Suppose if,
sustain, right?
yeah, if you are doing in the pots because they need more fertilizers, you can add once in a week.
Okay. And then how often do you apply the pesticide?
Uh,
That's the last question.
That's good.
Once a week?
These are all my experience, what I'm doing, my shared that. So
Yeah. Great. So everyone passes, right?
yeah, 100%.
Awesome.
Everyone
Great.
has a lot of idea about gardening, so that's good.
Yeah. So now we'd like to kind of shift. So one of the things that I've realized is that everyone loves to talk about gardening. Like if they're a gardener and they love to talk about it. So if there's any other gardeners out there who'd like to share maybe something in addition to what Ronnie has shared, whether it be some natural products that they might use or any other tips and tricks that you have, we'd love to hear from you.
Speaking from Niagara Falls, and I have a very small garden in my backyard. It is about 10 feet by 10 feet. During winter time, sometimes we have lots of snow. Sometimes we have just a little cold weather, but no snow. So during winter time, I take my banana peels, onion peels, and all the peels of different vegetables. I just bury them in I take a shovel, dig a little bit, about a couple of inches, and put in the vegetable scraps, and that's I do it almost 3 times a week because I have small little bucket. When it is full, I'll just bury it, and that provides a very good fertilizers for the next year. And but I do get lots of weeds, and that is very difficult for me to take those weeds. I try to remove it as much as I can, but it doesn't work. Weeds always win.
Yeah.
But generally, I grow only tomatoes, and they're I find very easy to grow. And when I harvest them, I'll take them in, clean them, put them in a zipper bag, and freeze them. And for next 6 months, I have those tomatoes for using to making a soup or to making some. Let us suppose I'm making a dish. I just take those tomatoes and thaw them and put them in the making a sauce for different vegetable dishes, and it works fine for me.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's really great.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea, adding direct to the garden compost, that banana peels and onion peels. And also you can use your vegetable scraps, any raw thing except lemon and oranges. Lemon and oranges makes soil acidic soil, so it doesn't good for vegetables, seedlings. So you can avoid that. Lemons and oranges and all other raw scraps, vegetables, anything you can add it to your compost, and add browns also, like cardboards or brown bags, anything you can cut it, make it small piece and add it. And then your greens, like from your garden grass, suppose if you don't use any fertilizers or pesticide, you can add that one layer. You can make your own compost at your house. So I think a lot of other.
And thank you, Rani ji, for sharing your experience. I'm also a gardener. I'm doing it for the past 8+ years, and I started seedling from for the past 2 years, and it's been an experiment, and it's a joy, as she mentioned, and putting our hands in the soil. And definitely, this is the time, no, that there is something beyond us. We can feel it. That whatever each year, it's a different thing. And I learned so much from her sharing a lot of tips. And for the pesticide, the Japanese beetle is a tough task for me in my garden. This year it's been widespread. I don't know why. So maybe this frequent spraying of neem oil might help. I used to do the cloves, put it in water, and with the garlic, and soak it for 24 hours, and then spray it on the leaves. Maybe the pungent smell keeps the bug away. So I'm trying my best, and it's an enjoyable process, and it's a joy to be there out. And my grandfather is also a farmer, so maybe that gene kind of into my body, so it's helping now too. And thank you for sharing. Wonderful, and it's lovely to see your garden. Thank you so much, and thanks for this opportunity to share my joy along with you all. Thank you.
Hari Om, everyone. Great presentation there, Ronnie. I love looking at your garden. It brought me so much joy. I've grown vegetables on my deck, but the question I had was like, I have a big problem with deer. And so is there any natural kind of pesticides or deterrents that you guys use to like, keep the deer away? I didn't know if anybody wanted to share anything that they've used or tried, because I would love to learn about that.
I did fence for
Yeah.
so that's all I did. Anyone has maybe left?
Yeah, thank you, Ritaji. Neeta Auntie, for deer, I remember watching a documentary on PBS about this a long time ago. And like Rani Auntie said, fences kind of do the best job. The key thing with a fence, if you have raised beds or other areas like that are fenced in, the key that I've heard is making sure that deer cannot perceive a place for them to land. So deer are actually big enough animals that if they wanted to, they can jump some fences. But if they see a lot of raised beds and they don't see a place that they can safely land, like on all four legs, they usually will try to avoid that area because they don't know that they can safely land without hurting their limbs. So if you put a lot of like pots together, kind of in like a not haphazard, but sort of in like a mixed way, so there's no easy way for them to maneuver in that area, and then fence that off. I've heard that like visually it's a deterrent for deer because they think they can't get around without getting stuck or breaking a limb. And I know there are other like heavily scented plants can be deterrents for things. I'm not exactly sure which ones are for deer, but like mint, pudina is one of them. And mint grows really easily for us in Connecticut, especially in the summer. So some of those like scented or really heavily flavored herbs can also be deterrents for certain mammals.
Yeah, for deer-resistant Indian vegetables like bottle gourd, karela, ridge gourd, cucumbers, and pumpkins, deers doesn't touch actually. So you can use anywhere those vegetables. I just do for my fence, so they don't eat any those vegetables.
So I think what we will do now is actually open up to more questions. So we, have heard from others who are gardeners, and then who also probably have lots of questions. So we'll kind of transition to that for more questions if anyone has. I actually I do have one question just for a clarification, Ronnie, is about the compost. So that was originally to lay down the garden throughout the summer. Then how frequent do you keep adding after a certain time, or that's
So
it? It's just
I
that
just
first.
one time I'll add it to the soil, so that soil will become rich when you are planting. You can add before that.
So
One
you
time,
don't need to do it
yeah,
again
no,
then during. Okay,
because we are adding all the fertilizers.
got it. Yeah. Okay. Neelam G looks like he has a question, and Ronnie, I'll let you take it from here for anyone else that may be raising their hand.
Raniji. Yeah, that was wonderful. I enjoyed looking at your garden. So I saw in one of the videos that the cardboard, and I'm also a gardener my whole life. I love it. And so by gourd, Gourd, you mean Ghia or there some other gourd? Gourd. You said green gourd.
Bottle gourd, like ridge
Okay, I
gourd,
don't know.
like
So
vegetable name you are saying?
yeah, Gourd. So like Ghia. In the north we call it ghia, so that's also very easy to grow, like the vine, it grows and it's like this big, and it's like a bangan but it's green and it's thicker.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
never
not
tried, but it's like why like squash, right?
Yeah, it's like squash. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But I thought I guess it's a kind of, I don't know if it's a kind of, like the English we say
Here is
squash.
Dudi, that's what they're saying. So bottle
Dudi,
gourd,
yeah,
bottle
Dudi,
gourd,
yeah. Oh,
bottle gourd,
somebody wrote it, yeah.
bottle gourd.
So, yeah, that you can also make like ghee ka raita and
Yeah.
sabji, and it's very healthy. Or moong dal and ghee, So
Yeah, these
it's,
are all that small garden. I'll get lot of vegetables. I'll store for whole year, like all of them except eggplant. You can save all the vegetables for in the freezer. Just you can peel it and wash it and peel it and cut it like that, and then put it in the Ziploc, that frozen Ziplocs. And tomatoes also same thing. You can just wash it. You don't need to cut. These are small tomatoes. Just put it, dry it little bit, and then put it in the Ziplocs. All my
yeah.
vegetables I'll save for must use for 1 year. So this
Yeah,
three
I
four
never
months,
use, I give them, like I used to give them
even
away or just,
bottle
yeah,
gourd
I
is good.
never freeze, yeah.
Yeah, you
So
can
I
freeze
want,
it and freeze it. Bottle
yeah,
gourd.
yeah, it's good, like now you all are doing that. So, for the, if we can't grow vegetables and we grow flowers, right? Like hydrangea, because my zone is 5B, so it's 5B to 6, so
Yeah.
it's pretty, and I don't get a lot of sunlight in this house. But uh, so that does the same thing for the nature, right? Birds, pollen, bees,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so
Perennials, it's easy to grow.
yeah, and you see the
Yeah.
beauty and
Beautiful.
the same effect like with the vegetables also. So that's nice too, for viewers. And is the cardboard mandatory? Jaruri?
Because I don't have any garden bed or anything, so I covered I don't want to remove all my grass. It's a lot of work, so I just covered my lawn with cardboards.
Okay.
And
Okay.
also, my soil doesn't have much nutrients, so I covered with the cardboards and put the new soil and new compost. So by the 1 year, it will get mixed it will compost into the soil anyway, that cardboard. So
And also pesticide, like in the question, it was once a week, but I've never used any pesticide. So is that also mandatory to
yeah,
use the?
because a lot of pests because of watering, and then you will get a lot of rains. So you'll often these are all vegetables eggplant prone to a lot of diseases. So we have to use this
Oh,
means
the eggplant.
once you get the bugs, it's hard to remove. So if you do it once a week, it's easier. That's what I felt. So I'm
Yeah.
doing that part.
Yeah, yeah. And neem oil is good. It's organic anyway. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone.
I can share one more organic spray like cooked rice. Suppose if you have leftover cooked rice, you can ferment for 1 week with water. In between, you just stir it and then spray it on the plants. Just filter it and spray it on the plants. So that will help a lot as like a pesticide. So this is homemade pesticide that I'm using for sometimes.
Maria Rani ji, thank you so much for this presentation. One of the questions I had was regarding compost that you use. So one of the most exciting things for us is when we find out what surprises we get in our vegetable bed based on what food scraps we've thrown into the compost. So these days we don't plant squash or pumpkin anymore because it just grows naturally from our compost. So I was just curious whether you have any other types of vegetables that you've had pop up for yourself.
Yeah, wine tomatoes, you will get it. You don't need to do that. And then Indian cucumber sometimes and cucumbers. Yeah, you will get on your. It's a guest for your garden.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much, Rani ji, for a wonderful presentation. It's very inspiring. And I know I will definitely be looking into planting more Indian vegetables in particular next year. I just wanted to make a couple of announcements before we close today. I know that we have a couple of new participants in today's workshop, so I just wanted to invite you to join our Loving Earth WhatsApp group if you're not part of it already. It's a place where we share ideas on sustainability and our highs and lows. And it's also a really great way to keep up with what the community is up to. Another platform that we use is Instagram. So you can follow us at Loving Earth Community there, where we post workshop summaries and also information. One thing that you might want to look out for is our upcoming Loving Earth retreat later this year in Connecticut. So if you follow us on those platforms, you'll get more information about registration. And then finally, a reminder that our next workshop is coming up on Sunday, August 4th. It's going to be a panel of speakers talking to us about their sustainability careers. And giving information about how you could potentially incorporate sustainability into your own career if that's something of interest. So look out for the Zoom link for registration soon. And I believe that's all that we have. So I will go ahead and close with 3 Shantis. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.